Hey guys, welcome back. Today I got a very special video for y'all. I'm trying to revive a deck out of the graveyard, um, that being Blue Trunks today. This deck is actually pretty decent. People kind of just have writed it off, but the removal that this deck has while being aggro is very strong, and I'm going to go over the deck list, and then I'm going to show you guys two games that I played with them versus Namek 2 and Burnhan, both of which I beat, and obviously both of those decks are like the top dogs in the meta right now, so the fact that I can beat decks like that with Trunks is kind of nasty. The removals is snapped, and also like with all the blockers in the meta, him being able to like have that bounce on his leader skill, the bounce blockers, so that you can go for game is really strong as well. But let's get on to that deck list. Alright guys, here we go. The drink, the man himself. Trunks is a standard leader on the front. When you awaken though, pretty standard, but activate man, you can bounce a 3 or less card to its owner's hand, so that can be your cards. It can also be your opponent's cards. Just rocking 4 1-drop Zamasu, just for good 1 cost removal, or even 2 cost removal with the addition of some other cards in this deck. Could even be 3-drop removal, depending on the cards you play. So this card actually gets a lot of value, and it's just like a good 10k. On 3 on play, you can add up to 2 cards from your life to your hand, and then if you have 7 or less cards in hand and you bounce an opponent's card to their hand, you draw a card. This is really just here just so I can get awakened. Sometimes the auto procs with your leader skill and stuff, but it's just hard to be at 7 or less in hand. You'll notice a theme with this deck. I'm not running any cards that have the 7 or less requirement, just because it's not good in this game. But there is enough blue cards in the pool to where you can build this deck without having to focus around being a 7 or less. This is the only card with this effect. So on 4 1-drop Goten, it's just a really good 1-drop 10k. There's a lot of 2-drop or less like blockers or like extension pieces, like the 2-drop Bardock or like Burnhan 2-drops, stuff like that, that just allows them to extend their plays and do some crazy stuff. It's just good removal for stuff like that, and it's a 10k. We got 4 another 10k 1-drop. On play, you can minus a card's cost by 1, which is really strong in tandem with other cards in our deck. Just 4 cantrips. And then here's like the meat and potatoes of the deck. We're on 4 of the 30k future trunks. At the end of the turn, after you attack with him, you do have to bottom deck him, but he is for a 2-drop 30k with 10k combo, which is super strong, and we'll be able to play him out from the bottom of the deck with other cards that we'll see. We're on to the removal 2-drop trunks. This one is probably better to be playing early. The other one you kind of want to play late game when you're trying to kill your opponent. But you basically bottom deck him and bottom deck a 2 cost or less on their board, which is really strong, and you can just cycle this every single turn, which you will see, and just keep removing board while swinging 20s a bunch of times. And then I'm on 3 of the Trunks feature. I'm actually going to flip-flop these. I just haven't done it yet. I feel like this card is slightly better, but the SR Trunks on play, you can add up to 1 card from life to hand, and then you can bounce an opponent's 5 or less to their hand. This card is super strong into black. If they, on turn 2, play that 5-drop GT Goku trying to set up a Bardock, you can just play this and bounce the GT back to hand, slowing them down a turn. It's just good at bouncing blockers or just any cards really. It doesn't come up too much, but sometimes you do need it versus like the black decks and stuff that can just snowball if you don't answer the GT. And then it would be 3 of this new Trunks, the FB01. 3-drop 25k, 5k combo. On play, you can play a 1-drop battle card in tandem with them, which is pretty strong. We have a lot of 1-drops to be playing out. And then when attacking, you give their whole board a -2 cost, and then you can bounce a 1 or less to its owner's hand. It's not the best ability. That's kind of why I'm putting it at 3 now. You can bounce like blockers and stuff, or like 3-drops, but bouncing is not the best. You kind of just want to be bottom decking. I'm on 3 of the 4-drop Vegeta. 4-drop 30k, 0 combo. When attacking, if your Trunks or your leader is Trunks future, you can reveal the bottom card of your deck, and if it's a 2-drop Trunks, you can play it. So basically, you want to be playing these early so that you can get into this on turn 4 and then start just cycling these. I'm on 1 double strike Kefla. This could be at 2. I probably should put it at 2 and take something else out just so I can make sure I see it, because generally you do just go for a game with this if you have it. It's pretty easy to get them down the 2 with all the 30Ks that you're swinging at them. Can be kind of hard to single strike them to death. So this Kefla being like a 60K double striker is like insanely strong if they just go down the 2 early, not expecting you to be on a double striker or something. I'm on 2 Zeno. This is for like the yellow stall matchups, or like green, just a bottom deck boards if the game goes longer. Also a 10K. 4 super combos. 4 Time Machine. This card is that 4-drop Vegeta effect, but it's just like on an extra card. So you pay 1 to play a Trunks from the bottom of your deck with a cost of 2. So basically, you can just like chain this. If they go like really wide with 2 drops, if it's like Frieza or like something like that, you can just like play this, bottom deck something, Time Machine it, swing it, bottom deck something, Time Machine it, and you can just keep chaining that, which is super strong. Or you can use it on the 30K Trunks as well. And then just 2 Final Hope Slashes, just a good 20K boost, and then bounces a card with 2 or less to its owner's hand. So this can, bounce their blockers, or it can just bounce combo back to your hand. So yeah, that is the list. I'm going to go over the gameplay now, so I will see you guys there. Alright, first game going to be versus Burnhan here. I'm going to turn 2x speed on. I've got 2-drop Trunks, which is really good in the Burnhan, since this whole deck is like 3 or lesses for the most part. So I'll be basically removing his board every turn. Let's play a cantrip here. And then he plays Searchon out. I do combo out of this just because I need the game to go a bit longer, and I'm negating him a draw. I do just take the leader swings though, because there's no reason not to. And then here I do just swing 20 at the Gohan, bait a card out. And then I just play my Trunks here to bait another card out. And then this bottom deck it. So he just plays another one. And guess what I have in my hand? I have another Trunks to bottom deck it. So do this combo out of the Searchon swing, take the leader swing. And then I do just do quite literally the same turn again. I just swing 20 at this to try to bait a card out of his hand. He does not give it up. So I do just play my 30K Trunks and pass, so that I can hopefully push with it next turn. As long as he doesn't God Kamehameha it, which he doesn't. He does this leader me down to 4 here, so I'll just take. And then plays a Searcher Goku. And then I top deck the Vegeta, which is a crazy top deck for this turn. It allows me to clear his entire board here. So I do this swing Vegeta to play out the Trunks, swing the Trunks, bottom deck the Goku. And then I just Time Machine the Trunks back, and then swing it again, and then I'll bottom deck the Duo. I want to make sure the bottom deck this 2-drop first, so that the 30K is actually at the bottom of my deck, because that's what I'm going to plan to go for game with next turn if this Vegeta survives. And then I just swing 20 here. And here he is just grabbing back some cards. I think he does make a mistake swinging me there. He should have used leader effect. But he does just go board with the leader effect here. So, I mean, it kind of, same process happened anyway. Maybe I would have, he skill checked me. Maybe I gave him a card there. Obviously, I'm not, but swing 65, so I was giving 2 supers because this Vegeta is going to generate so much value for me. Swing 20 here, get a card out. And then I swing 30 with Vegeta. 30 with the Trunks. And I make good use of our leader skill here, is bounce the 30k trunks back to hand, and then play that. He gets out. And then I play the trunks here. Just go up to 40. I think it's like a 40-60 split or 40-55 split or something. And then I just time machine the trunks back out for another swing. And then he just scoops there because he doesn't have enough combo. So yep, let's get on to the next game versus Namek 2. I'll see you guys there. Alright, we got Namek 2 here. We have the Kefla Double Striker in hand, which is really strong in the Namek, since he's kind of going to be killing himself for us. He's going to be taking his own life, and if he ever ends up at 2, we can just go for game. So, do just Zamasu his Kami, and then just swing lead. And he is on the Krillin, which I thought was very interesting. I'm not mad at it though. I do just take, pulled the Vegeta, which is nice, and then we just have the beautiful 2-drop Trunks card to answer his Krillin immediately. And then he does a swing 20 here. I do excite him to push, so I just combo out of this first one. Swings 30 at me. That is take. And then he just passes with 2 up. Guess he must have not had anything else to play. I do just play the Vegeta here so that I can play out the Trunks. Just generate a lot of swings this turn. Can't awaken, which sucks, but I mean, it's Nameku, so me being at 5 life this late in the game is super advantageous. And then I do just put the Trunks on the bottom of the deck just so I have something to play out next turn off the Vegeta if it sticks, which it should because it's Namek. He can't really remove this. If I keep it out on board, sure, he might swing that instead of my life, but then I'm not going to have a Trunks on the bottom of my deck. So. Just give him a super here. If I go down to 3 this turn, he could just kill me next turn. So if the fact I'm at 4 and I'm able to clear his board, I can't really die next turn. So I'm kind of just got to get his hand low and then set up a kill for next turn is the plan. So just swing Vegeta to play out the Trunks. Then just swing lead. Play my 30k Trunks out. And I play 2 Mais. And then just bottom deck this Piccolo here. And then end a turn, or actually bounce the 30k back to hand with my leader effect so that I can play it next turn if I need to push him if he's at 3 life or something. He does just remove my Vegeta with the Gohan. And then I do just start taking here because he can't kill me. And he passes. I just swing 30 here because if he takes, I can single strike. If he doesn't, I'm just going to bounce this back to the hand with leader effect and then play the Kefla so that she can get the plus 15k because my board is empty now. And then I do just grab a 10k and swing for a bajillion. And I believe he cannot get out. He does have 2 supers and some 10ks, but I'm swinging 130. So, yep. That is some Trunks gameplay for you guys. If you try this out, let me know how it goes. I'm sure this deck could be tweaked. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it is winning me games. So I feel like it can't be that bad. So see you guys in the next one. I got a special video coming up soon too, so be on the lookout for that.